What is going on, guys? It is your boy Jason Love coming at you with another video about non-CDL and CDL Hotshot. In this video I want to talk about kind of a 6-month recap of our Hotshot career. If you guys didn't know, we started back in October. We're in March. We've been doing this for roughly about 6 months now, so I wanted to make a video kind of talking about all the good things, good things about Hotshot, bad things about Hotshot, different stuff that's happened to us, different things to think about, you know. And so this is kind of just like our 6-month recap. First off, though, I gotta say sorry to all the homies. I haven't posted here in a little bit. I've actually been on the road right now. I drove down to Missouri. My birthday was a little bit ago, or it was on Friday. So I drove down, kind of hang out with my mom, hang out with some friends, be back, you know, back in the area with all the boys, you know. And then I'm going back to Utah now to kind of get life all back going. Everything with the business right now is still doing pretty good. We got Jared on the road, Luis on the road. I'm still working about getting Ray on the road as well. So I mean, we're still progressing, you know, everything's going good. I just haven't had much, how was that, motivation? Kind of like, just like, I think about, what should I make a video about? What should I make a video about? And I haven't really thought about anything super good until now. I was like, oh, I can just make like a 6-month recap and talk about everything that we've been going through. Sorry I haven't had any lives recently or anything, you know. It's been pretty stressful, been pretty hectic, but we're getting going, you know. If you guys don't know, if you're new to the channel, my name's Jason. We started a Hotshot trucking company 6 months ago. The way we even found out about the idea was I had a friend in church I was talking to him about what work he was doing. He was telling me how he had a semi truck on the road and how he was making about $2,000 a week off of it. He was dispatching the truck, he owned the truck, he hired a driver. And I was like, really, man? I was like, that sounds really lucrative, you know. And he made it sound pretty easy. So I called my friend Pierce. I'm like, Pierce, let's do this. He's like, let's do it. I come to find out a couple months down the road, though, that his dad had his own business and that he was leased on his dad's company and that his dad helped him buy the truck and like all this stuff. And so when we went to go buy a truck, we couldn't get approved for a truck because we didn't have CDLs, and a lot of banks want the owner of the truck to have a CDL to drive it, you know, to make money. So we weren't able to get a truck. We sat on the idea for about 6 months, and then we heard about Hotshot. We started looking everything up we needed. Now we have about 3 trucks on the road, and we're always progressing, always moving forward with the business. Now, this last 6 months, to say the least, has probably been some of the most, I don't know, stressful months of my life, I'd say. A lot of different type of stress I've never felt, just kind of more of like a business stress. You know, I mean, I've worked for people before, and, you know, when you're working for somebody, a lot of stuff that goes wrong, you can kind of let it slip your mind because it doesn't really pertain to you. But when you're part owner of the business, you know, almost everything pertains to you, you know. So it's hard to let a lot of little things slip when you have stuff going wrong. But it's just kind of like the nature of the beast, you know. You're going to have little things go wrong with anything. And the way that we kind of got into Hotshot, guys, was we had the idea because we thought, oh, we don't need to drive the truck. We can just have the truck on the road. I'll dispatch it, you know, we'll cut the profits 50-50, you know, because we thought with the semi truck, we thought, oh, we're going to be grossing about, let's say, $30,000 in a month. I would say that cost to operate or overheads probably around $20,000 out of that $30,000. You know, we'll leave $4,000 in the bank account and then cut $6,000 up between us, you know. And that was kind of what we thought, you know, we'll just keep doing that, you know, just have 1 or 2 trucks on the road, don't make it anything crazy, you know, and it'd work out. And that was with the semi truck, right? We looked at those numbers, and then we started kind of changing over to Hotshot, and we'd see that people posted, oh, Hotshot's still making $21,000, $22,000, $23,000 in a month. And we thought, okay, there's still a lot of money in this, we can still kind of do the same thing, right? We'll just take a smaller chunk, we'll be able to do it, right? But we went from our eyes set on like the whole pie, you know, a semi truck, right? Being able to do flatbed, drive van, low boy, anything we wanted to, you know, then going to non-CDL Hotshot, which has a weight cap of 9,700 pounds, has a space cap of 40 feet, you know, can't do hazmat, you can't do a lot of things, right? So when we first started, we didn't really make that whole notion, that whole like kind of, what's the word, change in our minds that we were going to change from basically having the whole pie to having like a small portion of it. And then, you know, we kind of thought, oh, where we live has to be good for freight, you know. We live close to Las Vegas, we live close to Los Angeles, we're kind of close to Salt Lake, but this has to have a lot of freight. But we started to realize that our lane wasn't really the best for non-CDL Hotshot. Like, I mean, if we were coming from a different state going through, we could make some money, but trying to start where we were, it just was not the best. So we started realizing that, you know, we started realizing, oh, maybe our gross number is not going to be that close to where we thought it was going to be. And we needed to make some changes, you know, nothing like crucial, nothing crazy, but just kind of understanding the market a little bit more, how the market's going to work with our business, and being able to capitalize on profits was really the biggest thing when we first started out. Now, if you guys know, insurance was super expensive for us. I think we started paying $2,800 a month. We paid $5,500 to get started. But I mean, after doing more research and talking to people, we were able to get those rates down significantly by going through a different company. You know, I remember that when we first started, we were buying gas with a credit card and kind of just paying the credit card down because we were kind of scared about our cash flow. But now we're able to cash flow our fuel, which is really awesome. When we first started, we had a driver who's a really awesome guy. He still works for the company, just in a different position. But he wanted to be home every weekend, and we thought, oh yeah, we can definitely do that. There should be enough freight where we can pick and choose, right? But then we realized, no, we need our guy to stay on the road for 21 days. So we were able to hire another driver, super awesome. Stays on the road for 21 days, gets 7 days off. And we're making progression, right? These little things are causing us to progress. And we've seen, you know, the number go up, you know, in gross. We've seen the number go up in profit. But we're still not, I'd say, where we need to be, even after all these good things happening, to be like, okay, like we can start taking big chunks of this, right? So we realized, okay, if we want to be on the outside looking in, especially in Hotshot, you know, we need lease-ons, we need numbers, right? We need to maximize profits with one truck and then multiply how many trucks we have, right? But obviously your risk is going to be higher, you know, your risk for things to go wrong. I mean, your risk in general is going to be higher. So we thought, okay, lease-ons. So we brought Jared on. He's been running pretty good. We're bringing another guy on. So like, we're kind of realizing how we're going to be able to make the most amount of money possible for the least amount of work in our current situation. Now, I'd say our goal still is to be able to have semi-trucks on the road. I think for somebody who is trying to who's trying to be a business owner, not drive the truck, but kind of be on the outside looking in and want, you know, the most in numbers, right? The most growth, the most profit. I feel like semi-truck's definitely the way to go. But I think a lot of people do Hotshot because they want to drive their own truck, so they can drive their truck, operate their truck, and you know, they own the business, so they get paid for driving the truck plus the profit of the business. So they end up making a really good amount of money. But I think that Hotshot is a little hard for anybody who's trying to be kind of a person on the outside looking in, or a business owner, unless you have multiple trucks, right? Multiple trucks on the road. That's when you're going to be able to get a good revenue coming from those trucks. And so we kind of started to realize that, and we're realizing as we go the different changes we need to make. I think Hotshot can be super profitable, but it definitely takes time. You know, like anything, it takes time. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme, but it takes time to learn the system. Takes time to learn what's best for you. Like we've said in earlier videos, and I know when I was doing the podcast, which I really want to get back to doing, we talked about it. It's like, what's going to work for me, it's probably won't work for you. What works for you probably won't work for me. Like, there's a lot of different things that are going on, and where we live, it's just not the same. You know, the circumstances we're in are just not the same. You know, but it's about finding out the best system for you, you know, what works for you, how you can capitalize profits. And the reason I think we make YouTube videos, the reason I do, is kind of show my take on it, you know, what's going good for me, what's going bad for me, give people realistic views on what they should expect, but also motivating people not to have so much fear, you know, to kind of hop into it, to get going, you know. And it's weird because a lot of people are jumping into Hotshot right now, and I don't know if that's really causing the rates to go down. I think the problem is, guys, some people just don't understand freight. 1 second, let me set this. Some people just don't understand freight, because I have people all the time being mad, like, oh, look at this partial, they're paying 80 cents a mile, and it's like 10 feet, 8,000 pounds, you know, they're paying 90 cents a mile. So like, this is the worst load ever, cheap freight sucks, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, that's a partial, but that's not a Hotshot partial. Like, you should not put that on your Hotshot truck. Like, that's going to go on somebody who has a 53-foot flatbed or 48-foot flatbed that can haul, you know, 45,000 pounds. And it's only going to take up 1/4 of their length and 1/4 of their weight. So they can multiply that basically 4 times and be able to make a rate that's going to cause them to make money. But like that's not that parcel's not for us. And like you can take it, obviously, and make it 80 cents per mile if you need to take it. Like, do you? But it just sucks when everyone's complaining about rates. And it's like that's not Hotshot freight. You know, like I've seen a lot of Hotshot freight that's paying $1.70 plus, and that's they want it expedited. You know, they want you to pick it up and drop it off. And they're paying, you know, over $2 a mile, and it says Hotshot over it. It says HS, because that's what they're wanting. They're wanting a Hotshot because they want somebody to move it faster. They want it to be an easier, you know, easier service all around. So, I mean, I think it's understanding rates a lot of times. Like, there's a good amount of Hotshot rate. Now, like when you're taking these full size loads, you know, for $1.40 a mile, and you know, and it's 40 feet, you know, 8,000, 9,000 pounds. So I mean, it's just a Hotshot total load or truck load. You know, that's pretty cheap freight. Like $1.40 a mile, I would consider that cheap freight. You know, I would want something definitely over $1.80 a mile, especially with how much fuel is becoming. One thing I'm realizing is there's a lot of cost that a lot of people don't think about. People crack the numbers before they start doing this, and they realize, crap, there's a lot more cost than I thought. You know, once they get started, they realize, why aren't my numbers adding up? Because you're spending more on fuel than you thought. You're spending more on repairs. You're just overall on the road costs more money. And with how expensive fuel's getting and how expensive insurance is, like, we really need to band together and start pushing the freight prices up. I mean, when I first started, I was like, $1.40, $1.50 a mile, we can make a quality profit. Like, I'm not worried about it. But now I'm like, I don't want to move for less than $1.80 a mile. Like, less than $1.80 a mile, I'm not moving the truck, you know? And it's just like, I want to consistently be over $2 a mile, because, like, we got to be in the mindset. Look at some Ferraris. Got to be in the mindset, like, we want to make the most amount of money for the least amount of work, right? So what kind of consists of work in the Hotshot business or in trucking? Miles driven, right? So we want to make the most amount of money for the miles driven. And I was just realizing that, kind of thinking, okay, this is what we need to do. Obviously, you want to keep your guys on the road. I want to keep drivers on the road and go from there. But it's about making a profit at the end of the day. So when we first started our trucking business, obviously we had our friend Dallas driving the truck. We were paying him 40 cents a mile, and then we hired Luis. We upped Luis to 43 cents a mile. And then after about a month, you know, we just started talking to him. And one thing we're going to do, I think, I'm kind of trying to find the best of both worlds with paying, because a lot of people say, oh, do I pay percentage? Do I pay per mile? Do I do this? Do I do that? Do the other? Because obviously if you're paying percentage, that's because you're making more money per mile, right? Because your whole goal is like, okay, I don't want my driver to drive that many miles, you know, because I just want to make the most amount of money for the least amount of work, the least amount of wear on my truck, right? So you can make $4,000 on 2,800 miles, you know, or you can make $4,000 on 2,000 miles. If you made $4,000 on 2,800 miles, your driver's going to make more money because he gets paid per mile. But if you make $4,000 on 2,000 miles, your driver's going to get paid less money because he gets paid per mile, and you're going to make more money off the top. So what we've done is to do 46 cents per mile, or 25% of gross. One thing I also want to do is, which I'm probably going to do today, is I want to get him his own login for the load board, just because maybe he's at night when I'm not looking at the load board, or he's up earlier than I am. He can go ahead and hop on the load board, so he doesn't feel like he's not just doing anything waiting on me. And with, you know, him getting a portion of the gross, if that exceeds, so whichever one's bigger, he's going to get that number. He feels a little more obligated, a little more connected or tied into the amount of money the business is making, which, you know, in my mind, was going to make him work harder. Not that he works really hard as it is, but just saying in general, I feel like he's going to feel like he has a lot more invested in the company, which is going to, you know, just help morale a little bit. And so I was kind of looking at that, and it's just like these little things that we kind of made, these decisions we've made, these things that we wanted to change. You know, it's like, okay, this is probably a better way to do it. Let's talk about it. You know, let's make the change. Okay, we kind of need to realize this needs to change. So let's change it, right? Because I think one question I asked in the what is it? Sorry, going blank. And the podcast we had was, you know, what would you do if you're 3 months down the road, you're doing Hotshot, you put a lot of money into it, and you're realizing the profits just haven't been there. You know, it's not what you expect it to be. You know, it's just a lot harder, you know, like you weren't prepared fully for it. And Load Miser said, he's like, you got to stop the bleeding, man. You got to stop the bleeding. And I think stopping the bleeding goes from making these educated decisions or educated changes as time goes on. You know, so it's like, okay, this month we didn't gross what we needed to gross. Why is that? You know, let's come up with a reason. Is it because, you know, the truck had a malfunction and it was down for a week? Is it because we don't have the right type of system set up with our driver for his brakes? Is that what's causing us to suffer? Is it because we're running the wrong lanes? Is it because I'm just not the best dispatcher in the world? Is it because XYZ? It's about being humble and realizing, okay, this is the problem. The problem is I'm overworking myself, so I'm not able to look at the boards a lot. Or the problem is the area we're at isn't the best for what we're trying to do, which is perfectly fine, but it's about just being real, understanding what needs to change. Because Hotshot is a profitable business, guys. But it's up to you as a business owner to realize, how do I get my portion? What is the best way for my company to be able to take what's mine? You know, and I'd say I'm starting to realize that. I've kind of always known that, but it's about now, like, making those educated decisions, saying, okay, we got some time under our belt, you know, we're understanding the freight market a little better, we're understanding what's working for us. Now we maximize off of the we maximize profits off of the experiences that we've had, right? I think that's super important. You know, I get people all the time hopping in my DMs or hopping on my videos and just saying outlandish things about how, like, they're doing this, that, and the other, and it's working so much better than what we're doing or whatever. And I'm saying, sorry guys, and I'm saying everybody's different. You know, everyone lives in a different part of the United States. Everybody runs a different game. You know, everybody has a different kind of business. So about finding what works for you. And so my business are based off what works for me, or what works for me for the time. Like, obviously any video I make, I can make another video talking totally different later on, because things have changed, right? You know, fuel's getting so expensive right now. My mind has been like, how can I save the most money on fuel? Do I need to change my fuel card? Do I need to find a better fuel card? Do I need to stop running some states because I know that fuel's outlandish, that even with $1.80, $1.90 a mile, we're not getting the profits that we need? And it's about training up the dispatchers and saying, hey, like, that might be $1.80 a mile going to California, but really that's only $1.50 a mile because of how expensive fuel is, you know, or something like that, you know? I mean, there's things you got to think about and realize, okay, let's make this a rule, let's set it in stone, let's keep moving forward. But yeah, guys, I want to make this quick video. Quick, it's like 18 minutes, kind of just rambling, but talking about a lot of little things that I find important, and going over kind of 6-month review, some stuff I've realized in the last 6 months that I wanted to kind of talk to you guys about and see what you guys think. You know, if you guys like any of the content in this video or have any suggestions or anything you want to say, go ahead and throw a comment down below. Really, in this video, I'm just trying to be real and talk to some people, you know what I'm saying? You know, I love you guys, and I really think these last 6 months have been good. It's a learning experience for sure, and it's just about myself learning the best things for my business, what we need to do to keep moving forward, and to keep expanding. And I think, you know, they come out and say, what is it, 80% of trucking businesses end in the first year, and I think that's because a lot of people aren't willing to adapt. They're not willing to change. They're not willing to say, maybe I'm the problem, you know? And so it's about adapting. It's about realizing, okay, what needs to change? I know this is successful because so many people have success with it. What do I need to do, or what do I need to change about my business so that we can be just as successful as these people are, right? And I think the thing we need to realize is, with non-CDL Hotshot, that is the most important thing, because non-CDL Hotshot, in my opinion, is not profitable everywhere, okay? It's not profitable in all circumstances, okay? You're limiting yourself to what you can do, and so you need to realize that, how is non-CDL Hotshot going to be profitable for me in my area, or what do I want to do with it, and see if that works for you. It's not as clean cut, as dry as saying, yeah, you can make a ton of money doing non-CDL Hotshot, or you can make a ton of money doing Hotshot. No, it's about, how am I going to make a ton of money doing Hotshot where I live with my equipment, okay? Because if we just watch random videos saying, yeah, get a lot of money, like, you're going to think you can do it with a 15-foot trailer, living in bum flip nowhere, you know, doing you. But that's not true, guys. But yeah, guys, I love you guys so much. I want to thank you guys for being here, part of the YouTube channel. I'm going to have more content come out. Like I said, I'm going home right now, so I'll be back on the grind of making videos. You guys are awesome. You know, let's just keep pushing, keep building our parts, man, living our dreams. You know, a lot of people in this world just think that they're gonna work some dumb job till the day they die, and that's not true, man. You just gotta run it. You gotta go out there on a limb. If you fail, who gives a flip, bro? At least you tried. That job's still gonna be there if you fail, so don't worry about it. Like I said, guys, I love you guys so much, and thank you guys for being here, and I hope you all have a great day. Talk to you later.